So we'll begin. We're going to do the practice called the Mindfulness of Breathing this morning. And I've said before, this is a really good way of helping us to calm our busy minds, just allowing the mind to settle. And the more we do it in meditation, the more it happens during the rest of the day. So it has really good knock-on effects. However, it's also a practice of mindfulness, as the name suggests, and the two are interconnected really. So mindfulness is about being present, being here in the present moment, really noticing our lives. We spend so much of our time thinking about the past, planning the future, getting anxious about the past, criticising what's happened in the past, just generally spending most of the time in our thoughts. So mindfulness is a way of bringing ourselves into the present moment, so we actually experience our lives. How great is that, to actually notice our lives moment by moment? It's just so good to do that, and it means that we just experience a lot more of living this life. So this is a really good practice for helping us to be more mindful, more aware of the world, of the moment, and to be switched on to our lives. So most of you have done it before, I think. Good morning, Bex. See, you've just joined us. And Rachel. Good morning, Rachel. So this practice most of you have done before, but if you haven't, it's in 4 parts and it's very straightforward. The first 2 parts we count the breath. In the first part we count right at the end of the out breath. So this is a relaxing breath. What we're trying to do is just notice the out breath all the time. So we breathe out, count 1, we breathe out again, count 2, and so on up to 10. And when we get to 10, we start again. And if we get interrupted by a thought, we just accept that with patience and kindness, and we come back to the breath and begin again from 1. The second stage is exactly the same, but we're counting just before the in-breath. The in-breath that gives us energy and life, makes us alert. So we're just following the in-breath in stage 2. Stage 3, we go to the breath in the body, just noticing the sensations. And in stage 4, we come up to an area somewhere around the nostrils or the upper lip, and just notice the sensations, the very subtle sensations that are present there. And I'll lead us through this as usual. But the main thing is not to get upset about being distracted, because we will get distracted, and just to relax with it. We're not trying to get to 10 in the counting stage. What we're trying to do is just notice the breath. So that's the main thing. The counting is just a way of helping with that. Okay, and we'll begin as usual by just settling into the meditation. And Kate's joined us now. Good to see you, Kate. So just make sure you're comfortable. You can be sitting on a chair, on a cushion, maybe lying on the bed. Maybe you're still in bed, that's fine as well, or lying on the floor. Whatever you're doing, just make sure that you're comfortable, and that you'll be okay for the next sort of 25 minutes or so. Okay, so we'll begin by just arriving in our meditation, in the beginnings of the meditation. Just taking stock of how we are this Thursday morning. We may feel all sorts of ways. We might feel very comfortable. We might feel a bit edgy, a bit unsettled, or just feeling good, feeling well. I hope that's the case. But however we're feeling, it doesn't matter really. We're not trying to change it. We're just noticing how we feel. And as always, we're accepting that that's okay. Even if it's a bit unpleasant, it's okay. We're just accepting ourselves with a deep sense of friendship and kindness to our being. And bringing attention to the weight of our body, sitting on or lying on, whatever it's sitting or lying on, feeling the weight pressing down, noticing the pull of gravity pulling us down to the earth, and just allowing gravity or the earth to hold us in that way. We don't need to make any effort at all. We can just relax. Noticing the air around us, touching our skin. Maybe it's warm, maybe it's a little bit cool. Any sounds that are arising and passing away. Not thinking about any of these things, but just observing. Bringing our attention now to our breathing, particularly the movement of the breath in the chest. This rhythmical expansion and contraction of the lungs, which push the rib cage, which push the whole of the chest outwards as we breathe in, and then relaxing and contracting as we breathe out. Just breathing normally, not making any effort to breathe, just allowing the breath to come and go. This is the mindfulness of breathing, and in the first stage we're going to count right at the very end of the out-breath. So following the out-breath from the beginning to the end, and then placing the number 1 at the end of the out-breath, and then the number 2 at the next one, number 3 on the next one, and so on up to 10. And when we get to 10, beginning again at 1. Chances are you won't get to 10. You might not even get past 2 or 3, and that's fine. Just come back to the breath as soon as you notice you've been distracted. Just come back to the breath and begin counting again, right at the end of the out-breath, beginning with 1. And when you get distracted, just being okay with that. It's just what happens. Just counting at the end of each out breath. And just letting go of the counting for a moment. Just noticing how you are, relaxing, maybe adjusting your posture if you need to, making sure you're comfortable. And then when you're ready, beginning the counting again, this time right at the beginning of each in-breath. Right at the beginning of the in-breath, and then noticing the in-breath right to the end. So we're beginning with 1, and the first in-breath, then 2, then 3, just in the same way. And whatever thoughts appear, just letting them go. Having a sense of kindness towards any thoughts. We're not trying to stop them, we're just noticing when they distract us. We're going to drop the counting altogether now and just bring our awareness to the breath, the movement of the breath in the body, particularly the chest area. The chest rising and falling. What does that feel like? Just really noticing the sensation of the breath expanding the lungs, pushing out the rib cage, and then retreating. This steady, beautiful rhythm reminds me of a tropical sea lapping the shore. As much as you can, allowing yourself to become absorbed in this rhythm of the breath in the body. Not making any effort at all, just observing the sensations of the breath in the upper body. The fourth and final stage, we move our attention up to the area around the nostrils or the upper lip, just noticing the breath entering the body and leaving the body at this point, brushing the skin. We can focus in on the sensation, the very subtle sensation, maybe the temperature of the breath, the texture of the breath, whatever seems appropriate, but just really focusing on this small area. continuing to let thoughts just dissolve as they arise. Just coming back to really concentrating on the area around the nostrils and the upper lip and the delicate sensations that you find. Just letting go of all effort now, and just sitting with your immediate experience. Whatever it is, it's okay. Just being present in the moment. In a moment I'm going to ring the bell to bring the meditation to a close, and when I do, as always, taking your time, gently moving your body and opening your eyes and making ready to continue into the day.